Welcome, welcome. This thing called podcast. We are here once again every Friday. And today I'm doing something a little bit different. I have a special guest with me, but she is not with me in Michigan. So we are doing this remotely, but I am happy to have her. Welcome, Brittney.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. Now, Brittney, introduce yourself to the family. Tell them who you are, what you do.
Well, my name is Brittany, and I am an author and an entrepreneur, and most importantly, a mother. I have four children, and I just published my first book. Thank
Yay,
you.
claps for that. Congratulations on being an author. And then, of course, congratulations on being an entrepreneur. And then, of course, the number one important job, being a mom to the four kids. That is beautiful.
Thank you. Yes.
You are welcome. So, I specifically, or you reached out actually in a group wanting to go on
hmm
podcast to talk about your book. So I looked you
Yes.
up, I saw what your book was about. I immediately fell in love with the idea of the book without even reading the book. And so I was like, I have to have her on because I am a girl's girl. I am a ladies' lady. I love women. And your book is centered around helping women heal from
Yes.
trauma, from past experiences. So let's start here. What actually inspired you to write this book?
My own personal abuse, trauma, and healing. When I went through my own personal abuses and traumas, I honestly didn't think healing was such a thing. I didn't think I'd be able to ever come out of that. And it made me understand why women stay stuck in abusive situations, whatever type of abuse that is. But once I was able to heal, I was like, oh no, there's a way out, y'all. There's a way out, and there's a way to heal and proper healing. So I definitely wanted to get that out there and help as many women as I can.
I guess my question would be, how did you start healing? Where was the beginning part of your healing process?
The very first thing I did was I made the choice. I decided that I wasn't gonna stay stuck. I wasn't gonna stay in this, and I started doing research. After that, I started taking care of myself and getting into counseling. Um, my problems were way bigger than just me and what I could do. So, between prayer, reading my Bible, and going to speak to a professional, um, that's definitely like the beginning stages for me.
So, as you started healing and as you started going through the process, at what point did you say, you know what, I'm going to write a book to help other women get through their own trauma and to go through their own healing process?
So, I felt like I was at a really good place in my life at that point. I still had, now looking back, I was not at like the best place, but I was at such a good place at that point, and I really felt like it was just all God inspired. I had no intentions originally to write the book, and definitely not to put my business out there, cuz even once I told my family I was getting a divorce, they were all like, "What? You guys have problems?" Like, "Yes, major."
Mm, wow.
So, that was very difficult for me, but it was something that I just, like I said, I once I realized that I understood why women stay in abusive situations, because so many people are like, "Oh, just leave, and I don't understand how you can keep going back to your abuser and keep getting abused." I totally get it. I understand. I completely get it. And I just didn't want that. And I didn't want that for my kids. I didn't want it for my sons, my daughters. I didn't want it for my family or my friends or anyone else. So I was like, that's it. I'm going to do it. If you say so, God, then let's go. And through writing the book, man, there were a lot of other things that I started uncovering because I was like, whoa.
I'm su I'm sure, because 'cause I'm sure in writing the book, you had to do a lot of introspection, a lot of things that were going on with you to be able to be honest and vulnerable in a book to be able
Yeah.
to even share a story.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you. Me myself, I've been in my own domestic violence situation. So I do understand where you're like, people are looking like, well, why don't you leave? It is not that easy just to pack up and
Uh,
leave with or without kids. Especially if, you say there's love there. And it's easy to say, well, what's love got to do with it? But when you've been in something for years and you really want it to work, like I think as women, we really want things to work so bad that it's like
yes.
sometimes we have to take a step back and say, is this healthy for me? Is this what is best
Right.
for me and my kids if I have kids? Because you always have to include kids in your thought process when you do have them, of course. So
Yep.
totally understand you on that. So, and I will say this too, you brought up God and, God being part of your journey. I believe everything happens for a reason, good and bad. None of us wants to go through the bad or the
Mhm.
trauma, but it builds character in us, and God needs willing
Yes.
vessels to be able to go out and help other people that's going through it. Because Brittney,
Yes.
I commend you, I applaud you. You were able to get through it as I was, but everyone's not as strong to do that. And so some people do need resources. Some people, even
Yes.
outside of counseling and, God and the
Mhm.
Bible, they need someone to say, hey, this is my story. And this is what I walk through. And it may not be exactly like yours. It could be very similar, but I got to the other side. So can you.
Yes. Can you? Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Now, do you have any new other books coming out? Any new adventures that you're working on, maybe?
Well, I'm exploring the podcast world.
Oh, okay.
And I also do have an event, a live event, in October in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So that will be very, very exciting. I'm really excited to just be able to be there with the women at that point. Yeah. And I don't know about another book. I'm not sure.
Maybe. We'll have to see, but we'll definitely have to push this book. 'Cause I think every woman, if you've been through trauma, if you've been through something, you need to go, you need to read this book. It's a great resource. Brittany does a wonderful job of letting her life out there. She is very vulnerable in it. And I think that's sometimes what we need in the world. We don't need people to sugarcoat anything. We don't need people to be passive. We need people to actually tell the truth and tell it what it is in reality. Because that's what our world needs is reality. We don't need any more fake.
Yeah.
We don't need any more social media. We need reality.
Yeah.
So, Britt, tell us the name of the book and where you can find it.
It's called Breaking Free: Healing from Abuse and Trauma, and right now it's on Amazon, and hopefully it will be in other stores, but it is on Amazon right now. There is a blue cover copy with a heart, um, and that's the original book. If you
Okay.
type in on Amazon, there's another one that's all black. That's
Hmm.
also my book. It's just hidden. So the format inside and all of that for any women that are still in abusive situations that need to kind of hide the book.
That okay, and I love that. 'Cause I wonder when I went and looked it up, I'm like, okay, I see two different types. One of this says
Yeah.
a journal. I'm like, okay, I'm so confused. But when I went on your social medias, which we'll get to that in a minute, I saw the blue cover. So I was like, you know what? I think the blue cover's safe. I'm gonna go with the blue cover. But I
Yeah.
love how you give women that's even still in the situation a way to read the book and it be hidden. That is beautiful because I do know in domestic violence or abusive situations where whether it's physical, mental, emotional, it could be the littlest thing that just spars the biggest, argument and, someone's now injured,
Yep.
someone's now in the hospital or even dead. So
Yeah.
kudos to you for even thinking about that. Like, because that is very important to be able to be secretive in a situation like that and be able to have your own.
Yes, and I do have to give that credit to my friend because she was the one that
Okay.
actually she was gonna gift the book to one of her friends that's in abusive situation. She's like, "I gotta figure out how to like cover
Hmm.
the cover of the book," and I was
Cover,
like, "I
yeah.
got you."
Thank you, friend. And yes, Brittany had you.
Yes,
Thank you, Brittany, and thank you, friend. So now,
yes,
anyone, if you are not in an abusive relationship and you know someone that is, don't get the blue cover, get the black cover, gift it to them, and let them read the book. Okay,
yes,
so the book is there for anybody to have, whether you are in it, whether you're just coming out of it, whether you're still healing from it, whether you're even over it. Get the book
mhm,
because there may be a healing process step that you missed that you need to go back and revisit. So get the book. And I brought up social medias. Brittany, let them know where they can find you on social media.
So I'm My name is Brittney Guary, Guary, and I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I am on YouTube, but slowly getting into YouTube. That's a whole nother world. That was like last on my list. But
YouTube
I
is a
am
whole new
across
world.
all platforms. Yeah.
Idiots, and I will make sure that I put all the links to your social medias and especially to the book on Amazon. I'm gonna put it all in the
Yes.
description, you guys. So go in and click. Make sure again, if you need the book, you go get it. It is not expensive at all. If you know a friend, family member, loved one, a stranger, a co-worker, if you know someone that needs the book, gift the book to them. We have Christmas coming up, we have holidays coming up, people have birthdays. Heck, do it just because. If you know someone's in an abusive relationship, we don't have to wait till a special day. Give it to them on a Tuesday, okay? Because
Yep.
it's important that we all be in healthy, happy relationships. I say that's the goal. If it's healthy and it's happy, then everything else we can deal with, everything else we can work through, but it has to start with being healthy and happy first.
Yes. Yes.
Brittany, is there anything else you want to tell the people? Anything else at all that's on your mind?
I really just want to encourage all the listeners that you guys are so worthy and loved and valued, no matter what situation you're in, where you came out of, what you might be going into. If you feel like you're getting into something and your gut's just not right there and you're seeing red flags, please turn away. And if you are in something, please get help. Know that you can reach out to me on any of my social medias or any of the links that are listed. There's plenty of ways to contact me. I will be there to help as best as I can with whatever resources I can. But you are valued, you are loved, and you are precious, and you deserve the best.
There is no better way to end it than to say that. Brittany, that's a beautiful ending. Nothing more to add. She is 100% right. Listen to her, go follow her on social media, and go get her book. I'm not going to stop saying that. Go get the book, you guys.
Yes.
Brittany, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
and being able to
you.
share the book. I am glad that I was able to have you on here so we can get that book out to more people, so more people can know about it and be able to get it out to the world. Because again, it's a very important resource.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. We'll have to have you back, especially if you're getting into the podcasting thing. We'll have to have you back.
Yeah.
Sure. Especially if you write that other book. Especially. It's a maybe, but maybe. We'll have to keep that on the drawing board.
It's
Well,
there. It's
Brittany,
on the
again,
drawing board.
see, it's on the drawing board. See, so we have to just keep looking at it, just remind ourselves if we want to do it or not. There we go. We'll have to let God see where God's gonna lead. Because that's if God leads you,
Yes.
you know it's ordained. So let God lead you.
Oh, yes.
Well, Brittany, again, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and write a book for women on how to
You're
heal,
welcome.
on how to get out of traumatic, abusive relationships. We appreciate you. The world needs more people like you that is willing to tell their story. So thank you.
Thank
Even the ugly parts, thank you.
thank
And you
you.
guys, thank you for joining us. Me and Brittany are thankful for you guys. We will see you back again next Friday. This thing called podcast every Friday. Have a good time, you guys. See you guys next week.